The Raven, number 8 of The Raven, Revenge and the Reckoning. It was a full day later when I broke camp in the canyon I'd found the night before. The place was deep and quiet with a fast-running stream carving its way through the bottom, like it had somewhere to be. Buck had thick grass to graze and a long rest, so he was feeling frisky come morning, ears pricked, head high, tail flicking like a colt. We left out of the canyon at a trot, continuing to the southeast. The sun was high, air was clean, and the miles rolled away under us like dust on the wind. I was deep in thought, didn't pay much attention to the time until the land started opening up again. Sometime before noon I saw a mountain meadow off to my left, quiet, green, and bathed in sunlight, like a place untouched by all the weight I carried. I reined Buck in and stepped down to stretch my legs. I squatted down at the stream and took a drink. Then standing up, I looked around. And that's when I saw it, that damn Raven sitting on a rock not 10 paces off. I stepped down easy, shoulders still stiff from the dream or from memory. I wasn't sure anymore. I slipped the bridle off and hobbled Buck so he wouldn't wander too far. He dipped his head into the grass and started grazing, tail swishing in rhythm like an old lady fanning herself at church. The Raven hadn't moved, just sat there on that rock, feathers black as midnight coal, head cocked slightly, one beady eye fixed on me like it already knew everything I was about to say. I let out a long breath and eased down onto a flat stone near the edge of the meadow, rested my elbows on my knees, lit a cigarette with hands that didn't shake too much. "You're a real dirty dog, aren't you?" I muttered. The bird didn't blink, just sat. I rubbed the back of my neck. "You showed up at the grave, showed up at the saloon, stalking me, and now you come back again sitting here like you want to talk." The Raven tilted his head and scratched the dirt. I looked down at the dust caked on my boots. "You following me?" I glanced back at him. "Hell, maybe you're a sign that I wasted too much. Too much life, too much time, too much hate." "You ever see a man killed with his bare hands, Bird?" I asked quietly. "I did last night. I dreamed. I don't know, but it felt as real as it did the day it happened. That's the part that won't let go." My voice dropped. "And you just sit there looking like you're here wanting to talk to me, but not saying nothing. Is that why you come?" I took another drag, but the smoke lingered between us. "You know, McGregor didn't kill Julie." My voice felt too loud in the meadow. The Raven didn't move. It sounded strange, said out loud. The Raven, he cocked his head and looked at me and then half flapped his wings and gave that low, throaty call like he was disagreeing with me. "Well, Mr. Raven, do you know something I don't?" "I'm the one that killed her." I leaned forward, elbows on my knees, eyes somewhere past the horizon. "He stirred up something mean back then. He had it out for me for years. He knew Julie before I came to this country. It never sat well with him that she was with me and not with him. Ran his damn mouth a lot, always trying to push me, wanting me to pull on him. McGregor was good with a gun, and he figured I was no match for his speed. But I wouldn't push worth a damn. I was practicing. I knew he would hunt me, and I was going to be ready. And like I was giving a little demonstration, I leaped to my feet, drew in one smooth motion, the hammer of my Colt coming full cock before it cleared leather. I'd practiced that draw thousands of times. When I snapped off a shot, it clipped the stone at no more than an inch from the Raven's foot. The Raven, he just cocked his head at me, kept watching. I didn't like that. I shook my head. "Mr. Raven, something ain't right about you. You don't scare worth a damn." I clenched my jaw and sat down on the rock. Let the silence settle between us. Continuing. "Julie wasn't supposed to be there that night." I rubbed my eyes hard, felt grit under my fingertips. "You want to know the truth?" I asked. The Raven tilted his head again like he'd been waiting for that. "I've blamed McGregor for 5 years. Figured if I could take his worthless life, I would have helped even the score about Julie." I swallowed hard. My hand found my thigh, the ghost of that knife wound still throbbing. But the one who pulled the trigger?" My jaw tensed. The silence hit like a shot through the chest. It was me. McGregor had been jawing at me all night at the saloon. I wouldn't take the bait. When I left, I wondered if he'd follow me. He was mad plumb through, and I knew he would like nothing better than to put a bullet through my head. So when I left, I went to the stable, got my horse. As I brought him out, I stopped to slack my cinch, getting ready to mount. Those 2 boys came slouching out, those 2 sidekicks of his. The big one went by Alford, and the skinny one was Donnelly. Well, they walked out there watching me kind of spread out wide. I was getting ready to mount Buck, and I kept my eye on him. That's when McGregor came out, and he walked up there right between the two of them. They spread out in a half circle like around me, and I knew they meant to kill me. I let Buck go and just waited watching them. Julie had come to town with me that day. I just saw a flash out of the corner of my eye. I was facing three of them and a little jumpy, and I don't even remember for sure how it happened. I was already turned toward McGregor, gun half raised, finger just twitching. I spun, saw motion out of the corner of my eye, and fired. The Raven blinked once. She fell before I knew what I'd done. My voice went hoarse. You know what that old man said? The thing about running is you always take yourself with you. Hell, don't I know that? I looked at the dirt. I've been working it over in my mind, wondering why you've been following me, Mr. Raven. And all I can see is either hell sent you to me, or then it was the other side. You ain't no regular bird, and that's the only thing I know for certain. I went on. I told myself it was McGregor's fault, and maybe it was, but I'm the one who took her from this world. I lit another cigarette, took us a long drag. So what does that make me, Bird? The devil? Is that why you took to following me? My voice cracked a little. And McGregor, after that tragedy, him and his two sidekicks were gone, never saw them again, till I found McGregor last year. I needed him dead. Every time I looked in the mirror, it was like I was looking right at him. But killing a man with your bare hands does something to you. He wasn't the first man I killed, but it was different this time. Watching the life ebb out of his eyes, I see that in my dreams when I close my eyes. I met the Raven stare again. I spent 5 years chasing a man who didn't pull the trigger. 5 years chewing on the same old hate. That was last year. It's been 6 years now. I thought if I found him, maybe he'd fix something. I shook my head, but it didn't. I dreamed the whole thing 2 nights ago as clear as the day it happened. My hand drifted to my holster. I slid my Colt free, spun the cylinder once real slow. I ought to put you out of your damn misery, I said to the Raven. The Raven blinked slowly. I stared a little longer and then gave a grunt and slid the gun back into place. No, not today. Storm clouds were gathering in the west. Not heavy, but enough to hint that the weather might turn. I got up slow, stretched out my leg, and started gathering some brush and deadfall. Built a little lean-to off a narrow rock wall. Nothing fancy, just enough to break the wind and keep the fire close. Buck wandered a little, but stayed near. The Raven stayed too. By dusk, I had a small fire crackling, warmth on my skin, coffee heating over the fire. I sat near the flames, coat wrapped tight, staring at the bird across the clearing. Still here, huh? I asked. No answer, just the sound of the wind in the grass. Eventually, I leaned back against the stone and watched the sky fade from silver to coal. I didn't sleep right away, but eventually I drifted off. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't dream.